Hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to do a good old classic relationship reading for you guys because there's something unusual going on in the sky right now. We have Venus and Mars under the beams of the sun. They're going to get ready to go Cazimi together. And this is a very rare transit. So basically, when they're under the beams of the sun, they're very weakened. Intentions are hidden. Things are kind of delayed. And also, there's going to be higher awareness coming in and some more clarity coming in. So let's get into it. So again, this is super, super rare. This rarely happens. And I asked AI to try to find a quick answer for it. And AI lies all the time. So don't trust AI. I'm going to actually look into the actual dates when this has happened. After this video, I'm going to make another video more so along the lines of what areas of your life it will be affecting, because we got to look at the Mars ruled houses and the Venus ruled houses. For this, we're just going to do a relationship reading. But this is very, very special because not only did Mars and Venus just go through this area of the chart and the sky, which is where we're getting deeply soulfully aligned. And it's like when Mars was going through here, if you weren't taking actions that were truly deeply aligned with who you are and that higher vibrational aspect of you, it just wasn't really going to work well. So Mars just kind of got aligned in that way with that. And now Venus is here. So Venus, like I've noticed, we're feeling deeply and intensely. And there's a little bit of emo-ness kind of going on right now, reflecting, reminiscing, going back to the past. And, but at the end of the day, this is reflecting so we can release, so we can have more awareness with what we're going to in the future. And then also at the same time, we're getting true to ourselves with what we truly, truly want, when it comes to what we desire, what we want to manifest, what we value, what kind of relationships we want. So this is a great time to have evolution. But at the same time, I would say from now until I think it's January 6th is when this happens. The full Cazimi happens. Don't expect to really see eye to eye, with your significant other. There will be things that are hidden. There's just not full clarity yet until they fully conjunct, until they go Cazimi, and then more so when they get away from the sun. So it is helpful for both parties, to go in within and introspect, because that is the best way that you can have a powerful, relationship, is giving yourself time to go within, be true to who you truly are, and then finding that balance with your significant other or your relationship and seeing where they are at. But yeah, January 6th, so rare that this is happening. And it's happening in Sagittarius. So this is way more optimistic, way more like getting just those insights and visions of the future. Actually, we can have intense downloads that we can be really excited about, because whatever we see in our imagination and whatever visions we get, that is a reality that we can actually align with. But you have to choose it, and you have to vibrationally align with it and constantly remind yourself of it and be devoted to that vision. But yeah, it looks, this looks like it can be a very expansive new beginning of getting on the same page and really knowing what you want out of love, out of life, in your relationship, and then merging with the right relationships that might possibly be, very meaningful and more so in align with your soul growth and expansion in your meaning and purpose in life. Aries, let's see what's going on between you and your person. And you're definitely going to be feeling this more because Mars rules you and Venus rules your significant other. So there may be, just a lack of clarity, delays, not really seeing things eye to eye. And yeah, this is where you can really just, pause, kind of go within you. What makes you happy in relationships? What do you really want out of your relationships? And then come back stronger after. So but hedonist came out for you, and that's funny. So light hedonist is inspires creativity to embrace the good things in life, celebrates beauty in yourself, and then shadow pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, and indulges at the expense of others. So yeah, I mean, Mars, like going through Scorpio and Sagittarius, these are very like a lot of energy. You know, you can have a lot of energy, so make sure that you're using it to create beauty around you, and you're using it with creativity and not just pure enjoyment. You know, you are making beauty in your life, you're celebrating, you're hanging out with those close relationships, you're really looking at the long term with your hopes and dreams and visions. And yeah, that's the most productive way that you can use all that energy. And then your significant other came out as priest. So facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So they're a little bit more retreating right now, which makes sense with Venus that's going to be, behind going through a fucus. That's majorly an inward energy and them connecting to themselves. So if they are a little bit withdrawn, don't really take it personally, because they're kind of receiving divine messages and upgrading themselves. So yeah, you might be disappointed, it looks like, but yeah, wherever you're disappointed and wherever you're projecting that on your relationship is actually where you had a blind spot in your relationship, where this is where you can have unconditional love for yourself. So you don't rely on the other person to make you happy and to fully fulfill you. Yeah, because there was a way that you were kind of keeping yourself stuck in relationships and stressing yourself out and then acting from that stress that caused more turbulence in your connection, and it caused arguments and tension. But yeah, between you both, it looks like you're both going through a self-discovery of really figuring out what you want. And oh yeah, figuring out like what you truly value, and also rediscovering your worth, which kind of makes sense. With the planet that rules you guys like being burned up by the sun, you guys are definitely not feeling like yourselves. So between you, it's like there's the Nine of Pentacles reversed, kind of like there was a lack of self-value, a lack of self-worth. And when that happens in relationships and you're trying to merge and it's out of that lack, it's just not solid. There will be more tension, there will be arguments, and there will be more frustrations. So it's like you're getting into, but in between you, also one day came out. So it's like someday, somewhere, another time, this is happening one day and you feel it. And that's why you're so, drawn to it and everything. But yeah, it's all about having patience right now. And your significant other, it looks like, yeah, just not really detached from their emotions, or your person, I'm going to say. Your person is kind of detached from their emotions. They're pouring back into themselves right now because they're kind of avoiding certain conflict and maybe this is conflict within themselves, or they're just avoiding where they think there would be conflict, because they are facing the ways that they were abandoned in relationships where they felt left out, they felt like left in the cold, or maybe they were acting cold and they're just walking away, kind of walking. It looks like they're walking away, they're getting into themselves, and then they're going to come back to this later. So what is the outcome of this? Okay, so a new cycle in love can start. But yeah, there is like you guys focusing on your happiness. There was both of you, or one or both of you, just not focusing on how you individually shine, and then coming together from that point. And then also considering the World card, which is where you're really going in the long term, and actually having those conversations and not like leaving it up to be, guessed about. Because yeah, there's some sort of like more of an emotional connection that needs to happen here. More of those vulnerable conversations that made the misunderstandings happen, because there actually is a lot of love here. And I think it is a good place to start with talking about how you guys are looking forward to the future and, really appreciating each other. And in whatever ways you can show it, I guess you can, talk about it, or you can like, just give them a little extra love and care, the words, the love language, whatever your love language is. Okay. And then messages from your person. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. I want to treat you the way you deserve. I've been manifesting you. And let's see, let me get advice for you. And yeah, because there was one thing that was, let's see. Okay. So yeah, you got to focus on the wheel of fortune that you want. There's a whole new cycle starting in your relationships. And the most important thing is to like leave the past in the past and to let it go, because a really strong new beginning wants to happen here. But you have to not keep on hanging on to the past, not letting the past, like whoever's bringing up the past over and over and over again, like let it go. It's time to evolve into higher versions of yourselves. It's to kind of time to allow the new version of love in. And yeah, it's going to be really helpful if you just focus internally, like what you want. Visualize your future with your person. Manifest it and really connect with that, because that's the only way you're going to be able to leave the old like in the past, is if you really fully are connected to what you want to see in the future. All right, Aries, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Okay, Taurus, let's see what's going on with you and your person. And this might be affecting you more so, in your significant other more so, because Mars and Venus rule you guys. So you're going to be feeling this more, you're going to be not fully clear. Like when your planet gets burned up by the sun, it just doesn't do well. So you might not be doing as well or functioning as well in relationships or feeling as good, or even having really full clarity of your own intentions before the full like vision fully comes in, on January 6th. With when they conjunct the sun. So yeah, it looks like you look like dilettante. So delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. It looks like you're enjoying life, you're enjoying cooking, you're enjoying beauty, love, art. And yeah, it looks like you're just enjoying yourself. And it looks like your person is kind of like the student. I don't know if they feel like the student in this relationship, or they're spending time on learning something and doing, what they need to do basically, so they can expand and grow. But yeah, it looks like they're open to learning. So this is actually very solid. The Eight of Pentacles came out between you guys. So this is like slow and steady growth. So if you're moving too fast, just like know the slow and steady pace is actually good. It's what you're supposed to be doing. And this relationship is leading to a whole new beginning in love for you. And you feel it, you know it. At the same time, there is a need for you to communicate more of your wants and needs and desires. You might be holding something back, but they're willing to make things more fair with the Six of Cups on their side. You know, they feel like this is a very strong soulmate connection and they want to make things like fair and balanced, like between you guys, balancing out the masculine and the feminine. At the same time, they're releasing disappointment. And I think this might be from past relationships or their own natural tendency to kind of look at the negative. Sometimes we have habits of doing that, but we got to realize that when we do that in love, in life at all, like, you know, then we manifest the negative. So you have to be able to look at the positive and leave the past in the past and, you know, look towards the new. But yeah, it looks like really, really, you know, it's solid. They think you're beautiful, beauty, charm. They think you're charming, graceful, kind-hearted. And sorrow came out on your side. So I don't know if you're sensing their grief and their loss, or, you know, let's see, clarify the sorrow. Yeah. So make sure you spend some time not losing yourself in this relationship, because you focusing on your own self-growth, your own ways of nourishing yourself, finding, you know, your soul at a deeper level. Venus like is in a focus. So we're feeling deeply. We're looking deep at the past. We're going to be a little bit sorrowful. This is exactly like what we can be feeling. You know, we can be feeling just a little bit more dread and we don't know why, you know, but that's really just the stuff coming up from the past to be fully released. So you can have a fresh, beautiful start in relationships. And that's literally what's coming. You know, that's what you're getting ready for. So keep your eye on the one day, you know, somewhere, another time, sometime. Yeah, wow. They really feel like you're a past life connection. So I don't know if you guys are in contact right now, but it looks like, yeah, maybe you guys aren't in contact, you know. So you're thinking like one day they feel this strong connection there. They are drawn towards you, but they're feel like they have a lot more to learn before they can really come towards this. What came out in between you? Let's see. Let me pull in between you. Clarity. Okay, so real clarity is coming in between you guys. Truth, intentions, honesty. So, you know, the more that you can be honest with them, the more that they can be honest with you. But at the same time, there's like a higher perspective coming in that you guys never probably thought you could even get to. So that's nice. You got to, and that makes sense with this energy coming up. You just got to let the clarity come in when it's like fully ready to come in. So yeah, talking about these deeper emotions that you never fully talked about before. That's coming up because there's a lot of reflection going on, where you guys are both independently like getting to your own individual truths. And it's kind of about beliefs that you thought you would be stuck on forever, or they thought they would be stuck on forever. Like, you know, being firm on beliefs and then recognizing what beliefs they should really hold instead. And maybe they weren't even aware of these beliefs, but it's really coming to light for them right now. And yeah, strong communication is coming in the future. So that's the outcome. Princess of Swords, strong communication coming in about the things you should have talked about. But yeah, nostalgia, looking at you, missing you, looking at your photos, wanting to make new memories. They're feeling insanely nostalgic. Acts, breakup, separation. So yeah, it looks like you guys definitely might be separated, but this is to stop the pattern. You know, silent treatment, abandonment. It's like whenever you separate, it's like because you're letting those wounds and the fear kind of take the lead instead of leading from love. And cassette. So outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in the head. So that's what's stopping. You know, whatever pattern was replaying over and over and over again, the axe is coming in. It's like, no more, okay? Because maybe you guys try to leave each other for good, but like this is a strong connection. And yeah, you guys just can't like seem to leave it. And that's kind of what happens. So messages from your person. I have been working on myself. I wish you were here with me. I keep hoping to bump into you everywhere I go. All right, Taurus, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Gemini, I'm really excited for this one. Just because Jupiter's in your sign, Jupiter rules your significant other. So relationships are coming to you, and they should be very expansive, like meaningful relationships that are getting you aligned with your soulful path and journey. And yeah, just a higher kind of level soulmate connection. At the same time, everything's about to move into your seventh house. So there's a lot of action there. Mars, forward movement, wanting to go, wanting more passion, more excitement. And then Venus is going to be there bringing more harmony, more balance. I mean, sometimes Mars does bring arguments at first, and then you get to balance out those arguments after. And then Mercury is going to be going Cazimi, I think, in a couple months. So I don't know. There's probably certain awareness that you're going to be getting also. But yeah, Mercury is not fully under the beams right now. So Mystic came out for you. That's my favorite card. So you're definitely tuning into your, divine feminine energy, maybe some of your mystic talents. You know that you're picking up more than what you know. You're picking up like extra sensory things when it comes to your relationship. This could be clear seeing, clear knowing, whatever your clairs are, but trust what you're picking up and what you're sensing. And they came out with the Fool. So Jupiter is retrograde, so maybe they're kind of going back on something. But I like the Fool because it's like ready to jump into something new, being a little bit more fearless, revealing emotions. But yeah, sometimes the Fool isn't as serious. So that's the only thing we need to be aware of. But yeah, it looks like you have many options, but maybe you're not sure which option, or, maybe different ways of pursuing this relationship, and you're not really clear. There's some sort of haziness that you have, and they're trying to find some sort of balance, going on right now. Balancing out work, love, if you want love, you have to make room for cut down on the work, or, finding a balance in life. Because, yeah, we'll clarify this Two of Cups. Yeah, so they feel like this is a soulmate connection, and this might be somebody from the past coming back around, actually. But at the same time, they're not fully showing their emotions. They kind of have their ego up, but at the same time, this connection really, makes them happy. So that's why you're not seeing clearly, but at the same time, what this connection is. You like really feel it, and you have that sense towards it. And that would be actually very, very amplified right now, especially when Mercury goes into a focus. But yeah, know that the bigger picture is coming. There is kind of a bigger awareness coming, a new plan, a new adventure, a new vision. And it's very important for you to speak your truth. So there's a lack of clarity on your side. And I feel like either you're not being fully honest with yourself, or you're not being fully honest with them. So it looks like, yeah, Eight of Cups reverse in between you guys. There's a need to come back to certain emotions that really weren't talked about, to get more clarity on it and to really clear things up. But yeah, you guys are a strong soulmate connection. This is definitely a strong soulmate connection. Two of Cups came out reversed. So I don't know if maybe they tried to leave, but they can't fully leave it because they feel like this just pulling on them. There is immaturity on their side. I will say that. But at the same time, there's deep love here, unity and connection. So there will be a revisiting to this. So you're thinking about them, missing you, craving you, desiring you. Also make sure, if you're thinking about them, you're constantly sending them energy. So this is very important to pull your energy back and focus it on yourself and your own manifestations. Because, if they come along, they come along. If you're just generally manifesting what you want in love, what you want in life, and they come along because you're still manifesting that, they'll come along. But don't just send them all of your energy, because that's literally what you're doing. If you constantly are obsessing about them, past life, yeah, deja vu. They feel like this is a past life strong soul connection, and they feel it. That's why they can't, leave it and everything. So what is the outcome? Revisiting the past emotions, Five of Cups, and looking on the bright side of things. So it's like lesson learned. And there is going to be an awakening, Tower reversed. Like there's going to be awakening that was not intentional whatsoever, that just brings a whole new awareness of this connection and where it's going. And yeah, being excited about it. And really, so the feminine energy does need to manifest this. The Empress came out. The feminine is going to get what she wants, but you have to know your worth. You have to love yourself. You have to become magnetic. You have to self-love, self-care, take care of the divine feminine energy, focus on what you do want versus what you don't want. That's your superpower right now, is manifesting. You should do it all day, every day if you want things to go really fast, or you should just do it at least 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night when you're in, mixing up with the dream realm, when the veil is thin. And then you'll kind of start to feel this expansion really come in. So it is up to you to find this expansion, to hold that vision, to really be excited for the future and where this can possibly go. So in between you, passion, insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun, coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. Yeah, if you need to break the ice, maybe it's good to go get coffee. And then it seems like things can go kind of really fast after that. And then kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. And their message to you, yeah, this is a strong soulmate connection with unconditional love. So I love that for you. So I don't want to be toxic anymore. And I'm on my way to you. Love that. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Let me show you the cards though. Passion. There's a lot of passion here. Really know what you want to manifest. You should be affirming. You should be visualizing. You should just internally know what you're heading towards when it comes to your love. Because it looks like they have a strong pull towards you. All right, Gemini, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Cancer. So you really just had kind of awakening in love with all these planets that just went through your fifth house and everything. So that's very exciting. Let's see what is going on between you and your person. Saturn's so close to Neptune, and that will be so close to Neptune for the next year, I think. No, it lightens up, I think, in 8 months. But yeah, your significant other, Saturn rules your seventh house, can definitely be going through a spiritual journey. With Neptune, it's kind of you can't hang on to anything. You don't know where you're going. It's like laying around in the ocean. So if they're trying to hold on to things, if they're trying to make it make sense, sometimes you just have to live in the present moment and let things go day by day by day. And since you're here, you're the spiritual one, let them know it's going to be okay. Just surrender, trust in God, let things play out, and things will end up for the highest good of all, if you just have trust and faith in God and or the universe or whatever, a higher power. Um, and yeah, kind of let things evolve from there. So I mean, that's not easy to, be with someone who's going through a spiritual awakening. Um, like I saw a TikTok today, like, oh, it's hard to be with a chosen one because their life is, they go through all these challenges and everything. I'm like, is it like that forever though? But I don't know. Like maybe a chosen one has to date a chosen one. I don't know. So, um, yeah, Hierophant reverse on their side, they're letting go of certain commitments. And these are certain commitments that they probably held, that are very old school, old world, that they held on to for a very long time. And the Hierophant is sometimes like religion or just traditional things in general that they thought would be in their lives forever that they're releasing. And it's not easy to release that because this is the Taurus card. It's like this things that are the most stable to you. It's like, yeah, that is kind of like needing to be refreshed. What they truly value needs to be refreshed. So there is a little bit of a power struggle that's been going on in their relationship with you, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with you. It just has to do with them. So they're kind of going through like this martyr phase right now. So learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, shadow, addiction to self-pity. So hopefully they're not self-pitying and trying to be the martyr. And hopefully they're realizing like they just need to transcend right now. That is the only option. It's God's plan, not their plan. And they have to just like let it go, ride the waves, and be ahead of the wave, hopefully, by going within and really like listening to themselves. And maybe with your help, because you know how to ride the waves also intuitively. You're very intuitive. Exorcist came out on your side, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses, shadow attribute, facing fears of your own demons. So you might be stepping up and really realizing like what they're going through, kind of like a motherly energy and knowing the darkness that's kind of being purged right now. But at the same time, don't lose yourself in this connection because at the end of the day, we all kind of have to go through our own internal realizations and we all have to kind of like face ourselves internally to get that deeper awareness and that deeper clarity of things. So if things, just get a little, it just frustrating, like, because it looks like it's not like super frustrating. It just looks like, they're going through a power struggle with material things and your Five of Swords reverse, like avoiding a fight. So you're not completely speaking your mind. But you playing the long game is going to be better with the Eight of Pentacles. Like, see, you at the same time can see the horizon, see the bigger perspective of how things are playing out and let them play out. There's a lot of passion in this connection. So the Eight of Wands came out in between you guys. Lots and lots and lots of passion in this connection. And it's important to just take it slow and steady, communicate your wants, your needs, be a little bit more fearless with that. And yeah, let things kind of progress at a slow and steady rate with divine timing in the way that it's really meant to. So they really sense only you came out on their side. I love that. And they're ready to do that. Like Nine of Pentacles on their side. They're ready just for the slow and steady change. So just be there for the slow and steady change. Eight of Wands that came out in between you guys needing to just slow this down, but there's a lot of passion, ready to just like move forward. Clinging on and spying, obsessing came out on your side. So don't, put all of your energy into them. Make sure you're bringing it back to you and the things that you love and you care about and your manifestations. You can't lose yourself in the relationship. But yeah, in between you, lots of passion, longing. whenever there's separation, there's a big longing, craving, wanting, aching. Yeah, you guys are like, this is a very, very strong soulmate connection. So what's the outcome? 10 of Pentacles. I love that. 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. That's amazing. Seven of Pentacles reversed, but it's like also at the same time getting to the 10 of Pentacles is going to take a little bit of time. And then there's going to be a reevaluation of where you guys have both been spending your time and energy and where it needs to be adjusted. And what's the Princess of Cups reversed for? Okay, where someone was a little bit more emotionally immature, Will is getting that emotional maturity. But yeah, 10 of Cups, bam, boom, coming back to really plan for the long term, have this beautiful home, family, soulmate connection, love a lifetime, forever kind of thing. But yeah, there's need to kind of go back, readjust things materially, and emotional maturity coming in. Okay. Somebody feels like they're not enough, frustrated in the relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy. Yeah, those things you need to go within, let them deal with it. You got to deal with it because it's not them. It's, you, and you can only come into this relationship when you're truly feeling whole because it's such a strong connection. Nostalgia. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making memories. So yeah, if you guys are separated, there's definitely a lot of nostalgia, going on right now. Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, uplifted friendship. Maybe a coffee date can kind of break the ice a little bit. And it looks like you guys are moving on to making healthier choices where somebody wasn't making healthy choices in love and life, with self-care and being happier. And that's the best way to move forward. So their message to you, sorry, I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. So they're coming forward to speak their truth. And I've been working on myself and am not the same as I was before. All right, beautiful reading. Very excited for you, Cancer. Patience, let this come in. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Leo. So let's look at what's happening for you. So, wait 1 second. All right, Leo. So let's see what's happening for you. I feel like since, the sun rules us and we're eating up, the moon, Mars, and Venus right now, we just feel extra glowy, and we might be like really taking center stage and everything right now. But no, I don't know if that's how it really works, but that's how I'm feeling right now. I mean, I just feel that way too after being sick. But anyway, okay. So with Saturn ruling your significant other, Saturn rules your 7th house, close to Neptune, your significant other might be going through a spiritual awakening right now. With Neptune, it's like the ocean is like on top of them and they don't know what's up, what's down. They're just going to have to surrender, go with the flow, go through their awakenings, just give the power to God. And, just if they, just let them know that's the only way through. Because there's no hanging on to anything when you're going through a Neptune transit, and they could be going through just a major perspective change when it comes to life and everything. Okay. I wanted to pull another card because I didn't love the card that came out for Leo. So vampire came out for you. Makes light attribute, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Shadow attribute is depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So make sure that you are the light, that you are feeding yourself your own energy and not trying to take from anybody else. But that is the most powerful way to be a Leo rising, is that you bring the light, you bring the energy. And yeah, sometimes you do have to deal with like energy vampires in that case. So make sure that you are aware of protecting your energy and just aware of energy vampires. And then also don't be an energy vampire. So, and then they came out as a warrior. So they're feeling like they need to battle and like, you know, develop strength and discipline, and just they're like summoning up their toughness into everything. But that's the funny thing with like going through a Neptune transit, is like being really tough actually is about being vulnerable and really getting to the core of who you are, and just staying true to that, you know. It's like the new way of being vulnerable, especially with you know, Pluto and Aquarius in the tropical chart, or the age of Aquarius. I don't know what it is, but you can't lie as much. You know, you have to just be completely truthful and honest with who you are, what you want, and staying true to your heart and soul. And that is the new way to be powerful, because that gets you more so like energetically powerful and energetically kind of pumped up. So if they're trying the old way of being like, you know, just work, grind, go, like there is a way of like, you know, letting them know, like, you know, you can magnetize things towards you. You can work with the divine feminine energy. This whole transit going on right now is all about balancing out the masculine and the feminine energies. So it's important to do that in you, and important to let them do that. Because that's also how you don't become an energy vampire, because you're connected to your own source and you're feeding yourself your own inspiration and your own fulfillment and your own depth. And let's see. Okay, so Princess of Pentacles. I think you might be talking about like a really solid new beginning here. It looks like they're not seeing something. They might be closed off to seeing a bigger perspective. They might be closed off to yeah, just staying with the old ways of seeing things. And this could be perspectives from society, or you know, just life, or how they were raised, or whatever. So their old perspectives are actually keeping themselves trapped. And it's kind of like eventually, like they're going to have to break through from it, because, you know, there's that divine feminine wisdom coming in. They're being awakened and kind of like elevated to a higher perspective. But it looks like they're stubborn with it, with the Seven of Wands, like stubborn with their stance and everything. And that's what's leading to a power struggle. So that's frustrating, but you kind of have to let that happen. It looks like it's causing you a lot of anxiety, but at the same time, like you have to let everyone go through their own spiritual mission and journey, and you can't put it on you necessarily. You do have this higher awareness at the same time with the King of Swords that came around you. You know, the King of Swords in the Light Seers deck, I like how he's always on top of the mountain. He has the wide eagle perspective. King of Swords always reminds me of like the eagle perspective, where you have this like higher knowing, but at the same time, it's going to take like time to play out. And it's like, and you have to let that overall vision kind of motivate you when it comes to this connection. But yeah, both of you are stuck like mentally, you know, with old ways of thinking. And we're moving into a time where we have to be embodied, actually. And that's where we really get that knowing, that true knowing that's actually real, and the real truth. We're going to feel it in our body. You feel truth in your body. It brings you more peace. It brings you more calmness. It brings you more serenity. The truth that feels like constraining, constricting, that you have to defend, that keeps you stuck. That's never like what the truth really is. So there's definitely like a new awareness going around with truth and mental self-sabotage and letting that go. Four of Cups came out in between you guys. So it's like releasing disappointment that is like the past. I've never seen the Four Cups like black, like just like like completely like the grossness of just the past and just feeling down. It looks like tar is being poured on this guy, and just like, but you got to recognize the hand of God, and at the end of the day, having trust and faith in the higher perspective and God's source, creator, whatever you want to call it, to know that this is moving you in the right direction. And everything that we go through, every lesson, every trial, every tribulation, every relationship, it is ultimately guiding us into a bigger direction. And the more that you can see that, the more that you can have that trust and faith, and the more that you can follow your heart and be connected to source. And I've never noticed the heart on there. The more that you can be guided in the highest direction that is meant for you. So look for the silver lining. Shocked, shocking, turmoil, trouble, unexpected. So expect the unexpected to really come in. And it might be coming from inner awareness that you're getting to know, or just a shocking revelation. Bitterness, resentment, anger, hurtful words is on their side. So it looks like there's definitely, emotions from the past that need to be cleared. This might be a good time to revisit the past to kind of clear things out. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's just stress in between you, turbulence, tension, arguments. So what is the outcome of this? You being steady and consistent and just grounded is also just very, very helpful. This is a tough reading, though. I didn't think it was going to be like this tough, but yeah, you got to talk about the deeper topics with Saturn and Neptune in the 8th house. It's vulnerability, and it's speaking soul to soul only. That is the only thing that's going to fly. Complete vulnerability, letting your heart. Oh, I almost posted this meme the other day, or yeah, giving your heart to God is the only way to heal. At the end of the day, like just ripping it out. That's actually what it says. Ripping it out and handing it over to God is the only way to heal, because there might be certain ways, like with all this stress, that we're trying to micromanage the situation or control the situation. But you never know the bigger perspective until you look back, and you never know why, you trust and faith in the universe and the flow and the bigger perspective is the only way through right now. And you have to trust that. The star came out reversed. So it's like not your plan, God's plan, but it will be your plan. And it will be the best thing that is actually for you. But you have to have trust and faith right now, and just stay in alignment. You make all your decisions with feeling good, out of love, joy, creativity, inspiration. Look at the vibrational scale. Make those soulful choices every day. Live in the present moment. And that is the best way to go. One more card, not a gajillion cards. And Temperance came out. So there is going to be a lot of growth and expansion and a whole new vision that really comes in. But right now it looks like the spiritual and the material are really balanced out. So there's always a delay. You can feel these really strong soulmate connections. But there's like always a delay. Like it takes forever for our manifestations to really manifest here. And everything that we've manifested so far is is because of what we've been spiritually connected to, or, spiritually manifesting, energetically manifesting everything. Anyway. Oh my gosh, this is like, why? Where did it go? Okay. Ugh. Withdraw. Okay, why did that one come out? So withdraw, single, lonely, solitary. Yep, this is a good time for separation time to focus on your own spiritual journey and your own path. Because just because like they're going through it with, the ruler on Neptune, like you got to go internal and you got to get very internally solid with yourself in the core of who you are, and just have trust and faith with the universe. Like release all the fears, release all the doubts, the insecurity, the shame, the jealousy, all those things, because all those things are just you not recognizing your wholeness. And you're trying to become a bright, radiant sun forever with this, transit going on. So, like, face all those deeper things because you're releasing the devil, which is, karmic relationships and just karmic ways of being in relationships. um you know Bad patterns, toxic tendencies, anything that was making you reach outside of yourself for something, for fulfillment, when you can get that within you all along. Nostalgia, looking at your photos, missing you, making new memories. So if you're in separation, there's nostalgia here. They're missing you. They're wanting to make new memories. Not enough, frustrated in the relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy. And the Grim Reaper, the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. So, sometimes it is good to let go of something because then you let the new perspectives fully come in. That's what I love about manifesting too, because that's where you can actually see your blind spots, is to consider all perspectives. Like if this, then that, and then this, then that. And you kind of open up to all perspectives. But at the same time, you're going to get everything that you want and more with the temperance card. So what is really truly meant for you that is going to give you the most meaning and purpose is definitely coming in with this electric temperance card. Trust, faith, but you have to connect to source, and you have to trust and know, and you have to have that trust and faith that is coming from within you, your core. You're not going to see the proof externally, and you being electrified by that to really manifest it into your reality. Focus on manifesting in what ultimately you want. And you are ultimately being tested to follow the feeling and to have trust and faith in the feeling. And yeah, God's plan, not fully your plan. Yeah, and trust the insights that you get. I'm scared that you will reject me. I really do care, even though I don't show it. So yeah, lots strong, connection here and everything. But let this time roll out, and it's time for both of you to get very solid in yourself. All right, Leo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Okay, Virgo. So let's see what is going on for you with this transit. Oops. Priest. Jupiter's retrograde, and that rules your significant other. So they might be going kind of back. You might be focused on work, but they might be kind of like, yeah, just kind of internally thinking about what they want to do for the long term. So priest came out on your side. It looks like you're really connecting to source, and that kind of makes sense with Mercury going through Scorpio and Ophiuchus. This is the, most spiritual part of the sky. It is where we go deep and where we really listen to those like deeper soulful intentions to really get aligned. They came out as a trickster. So trickster's not necessarily bad. You know, trickster on the light side is transcending conventions, stuffiness, predictable behavior. Um, but sometimes they might not be fully clear with themselves with what direction that they actually do want to go in. So maybe they're reevaluating that over the next couple months until Jupiter fully goes direct. But yeah, until then, it's important to get your own clarity, your own awareness of what you want in relationships and getting really solid with your core and doing that self-discovery with who you truly are and what you truly want. The High Priestess reverse came out on their side. So they're ignoring some higher messages that have been coming in for them when it comes to this relationship. So they're getting them and they see them, but they don't fully like recognize them and take action from them. Queen of Wands reverse. So it seems like in this relationship in between you guys, Queen of Wands reverse, it's like moving fast, and you might have moved fast, like it might have been spicy, hot, exciting, but at the same time, it's not very grounded and it doesn't really have a plan. So that's where things kind of like got mixed up. And there's a lot of anxiety on their side. You know, and sometimes like they might be going through like a forced spiritual awakening where like you feel these heightened anxieties and you overthink and you know you're just like all in your mind and everything. So they're getting awareness, you know, and they're releasing the Ten of Swords, so they're not like fully stuck in that overthinking and all the ways and all the programming possibly that kept them blocked from love and you know and kept them in their mind instead of actually in a relation in a fully solid relationship. Okay. And the Two of Swords on your side. So there are new perspectives that you need to see too. So don't really jump to conclusions yet. Mercury, which rules you, is also going to be going Cazimi over the next couple of months. It's also squaring Neptune and Saturn right now. So you could be jumping to conclusions. You could be not really fully seeing things clearly. You could easily, Neptune energy, like it leads you into like this warp tunnel of like unclarity. So it's important to just surrender, have trust and faith in the universe, and see the beauty in life, and not try to jump too soon to any conclusions or think that you really fully know. The Ace of Pentacles came out reversed on your side. So there might be something materially that you're kind of you're trying to rely on right now, but it's not like the new beginning yet. The new beginning like just can't happen yet. You know, if it did happen right now, it would actually not really be that solid. But it's important to get into your beauty right now. So the more that you focus on, you know, the beauty around you, and have a lot of gratitude and you're raising your vibration that way, the more you're just going to attract more of what you want. You know, they think you're also beautiful, charming, graceful, kind-hearted. And they just feel trapped by something. And that's kind of what this energy is, you know, just the 10 of like, they're not seeing the higher perspective with being able to get out of something, and they're kind of trapping themselves, and it's just like mental traps, you know, their beliefs, the way they see the world currently. They feel kind of stuck, tied down, like they're being held captive, also by you though. So that's kind of a good thing. You know, they feel like they're energetically like just kind of tied to you. They feel, you know, this web of energy in between you guys. And yeah, clarity is coming in where somebody might have acted a little rash before or jumped to conclusions. There's going to be a higher perspective coming in that is like real truth, honesty, vulnerability. Somebody's intentions are really going to be coming in. So that's good. And what is the outcome? The outcome is something completely different than what you would have originally expected. Okay, so beliefs being released, the Emperor, which is the masculine energy, is going to be coming clean, and really speaking his truth. Because yeah, he was hiding something. He wasn't really being truthful, being honest. He was keeping it for himself, or he just felt like he couldn't be vulnerable around that time. But it was because of previous beliefs. It wasn't because of ill intention or anything. It was just like this cold way of being. The masculine's really going through a defrosting moment, you know, with the King of Swords reversed, being too logical, being too stuck in the head. Um, the masculine is fully stepping up into a more healed masculine energy. So that's good. Okay, so coffee cup meeting and conversing, savoring the moment. Going on a coffee date can really break the ice. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation. Don't go too fast though. Again, it is good to kind of have a death and rebirth to this connection and do things in a different way. The Grim Reaper, there's a death and rebirth happening. To transform to a higher level, to not fall back into old cycles when it comes to this relationship. And what are their messages for you? I fantasize about you. Yeah, lots of fire here. Lots of fire that can get out of control, though. I can't go another day without you. Love that. All right, Virgo, thank you so much. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Oh, by the way, with Saturn and Neptune right next to each other in the seventh house, like your person might be going through some sort of spiritual awakening or, yeah, needing to let go of a lot in their life. So it's kind of like see you on the other side, like more so when Saturn and Neptune conjunct in February. There should be a little bit more clarity, kind of. I mean, Neptune, you don't get full clarity. All right. Thank you so much, Virgo. Hi, Libra. So this is definitely impacting you, Venus and Mars. Venus rules you, and Mars rules your significant other. Mars rules your seventh house. So under the beams of the sun, you guys both might not be really feeling yourselves, not feeling, not a lot of clarity, not really seeing where things are going. So yeah, it's important to have patience. You're both definitely feeling this. Um, Father came out on your side. So talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So recognize your ability to make your own foundation more solid and to kind of lean into your masculine energy. We're always finding a balance between our masculine and feminine energy. And yeah, it's powerful to find that next evolved balance that's happening. Um, and they got the Fool, so the Fool came out. So they might be acting a little bit more immature, but also they might be ready to be jumping into something and starting something new. At the same time, they, make sure they're not avoiding their own deeper emotional truths. Okay, Two of Wands came out. So there is a whole new perspective coming in. You're going to see kind of a whole new vision, a whole new plan of where this can possibly go. Um, oh yeah, also make sure you're healing your own masculine because then you recognize like um, healed masculine versus unhealed masculine. The unhealed masculine tries to control too much, tries to have too much authority. And then healed masculine just guides, is sturdy, is strong, leads, that kind of thing. Um, Four of Pentacles came out on their side. So it's like They need to release the old foundation. And this might be an old way of being, them closing their heart, them not really fully being opened up and ready for the new. So Two of Wands came out on your side. You're ready, you're passionate, you're ready to go. But it is important to face the past emotions and to at the same time, like kind of have this unconditional love and trust and faith in God and source and the universe that your version of love is definitely coming in. But you have to know that that is the case and you don't want to settle. It looks like they're letting go of past heartache with the Three of Swords reversed. They were hurt from the past, whether from this relationship or other relationships, and they're facing that themselves. And that actually is what kept them, blocked off and kept their heart blocked off. Where they're going to be able to open up to love again. So you're releasing something, going back and facing your emotions. You're going back to release, to kind of step into a higher vibrational aspect of you. So know what you need to move on from. Know, one sec. Oh my gosh, I need to sneeze. Know what needs to be cleansed and cleared from your system. Maybe you just try to surface things and you really weren't facing how you felt like at that deeper emotional level. But it's important to get awareness around that so you can at least feel it and then release it, because we carry emotions in our body, and those then we can act from fear and not love, or those same worries and all those like lower emotional things, instead of acting from love. Someday came out on their side, so they're hoping for someday, one day, somewhere, another time. But they're thinking about divine timing, so there might be delays with this connection. And yeah, it looks like both of you are kind of escaping in some way, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. There's some things that caused haziness on both sides that you didn't want to face, that needs to be faced for you guys to like move on for good. Because the Six of Swords is like wanting to move on into this brighter horizon, into this higher timeline and everything. Oh, and maybe towards like family and creating a baby and everything. But like the gunk needs to be faced right now. And I love how the Four of Cups has like gunky cups, like, I've never seen the Four of Cups with like black cups, like just dousing this guy. But yeah, so face those gunky, you're both facing intense emotions to come out on the other side in a brighter way. So what is the outcome? Revisiting the past, past promises, something was very solid and somebody promised something, but it didn't actually happen. Maybe solidness, steadiness, security, grounded, practical action. Somebody wasn't keeping their word with that, but going back to face that is releasing the devil. So bad patterns, toxic karmic patterns in your relationships, and there's going to be a Ten of Pentacles moment. So I love that. So after that, like going through the tough and the gunk and the shadows and everything, you guys will be able to come out on the other side a lot stronger. And I would probably say wait until January, closer to the beginning of January for all of this, but keep your eye on the prize. Know what you want out of life, love, the long term, marriage, kids, stability, whatever you really want. So when you guys are separate, you go through your individual core healing and everything, so you can come back together a lot stronger. Passion came out. You guys have insane chemistry, like each other equally. You have a lot of fun. Coffee cup. It might be good to kind of start out light at first and then let the passion kind of roll in. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up. And then, yeah, transformation is happening. And what are their messages to you? The old cycles are being left behind. This is going to be a powerful new beginning. So you can fully trust and have faith in that long-term, bigger direction that you're going towards for good. I knew you were the one when I met you. Oh my God, I love that. All right, Libra, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. I don't know why I just thought of this right now, but I just thought of this like dumb TikTok trend where everyone's doing channeled messages, but everyone's saying the same thing. Like someone famous is gonna message you, like, and someone famous is watching your TikTok. Like TikTok just keeps on getting dumber and dumber. Like I wish it would go back to like how it was, back in the day. I don't know why that came to mind, but yeah, maybe more genuine messages need to go on TikTok. So take that message if you feel like creating on TikTok. Okay, so Scorpio, this is definitely affecting you because Mars rules you. Venus rules your significant other, rules your seventh house. And both planets are being refreshed by the sun right now. Um, when the planets go and get burned up by the sun to be renewed and in alignment with that, I uh, I just got to say, like Christ consciousness, Sophia consciousness, the the just the higher consciousness. Um, Christ consciousness actually doesn't. I don't know. I'm just going to shut up. Okay, the higher vibrational consciousness that comes from the sun. I don't know how else to say it. Not trying to make this religious because I don't even know if that is religious. I think that's what it's called. But anyway. Okay, so Messiah came out on your side. So when light serving humanity with humility, shadow exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Don't be too narrow on your vision with this relationship. And they got storyteller. So ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So you guys are both like telling stories about this relationship. They're keeping it hidden though with the moon card that came out on their side. They're not fully talking about it. And the Six of Cups on your side, it looks like you keep on being drawn back to a certain soulmate relationship. And also it would serve you to kind of go back and kind of face your feelings in a deeper way. I know Scorpio has a tendency to like stuff feelings like until they, can face them. But like with all this stuff going on in Scorpio right now, this is a great time to resurrect some of those feelings because then you can resurrect that new awareness of who you're supposed to be now, because we get that from our feelings. Ten of Wands, though. So yeah, you're releasing a battle or beliefs or thoughts that were never really yours. The Ten of Wands is like taking on burden after burden after burden, and it could just be, thoughts. It could be actually that isn't yours. And you're realizing that. And you're realizing what you want to be committed to moving forward, what you truly value, and voicing what you value. So, say you do want to get into a relationship, it's important to talk about that with your significant other, because they seem just to be a little delulu, a little bit. But the storyteller, like they're, it's all kind of in their mind and not fully like actualized. So, this would be a good way, like with what you're sensing and what you want to pull out of them and what you want to make real. We can feel the connection so much, but it's up to somebody to really like ground it into reality. But trust what you're sensing with this. You're definitely communicating in the field, you know? Okay, so the wheel. So on their side, there was like a lost chance. Like they thought this was moving forward and then it stopped or didn't move forward. And maybe Three of Cups came out. Somebody was maybe had another option. I don't know if it was you or if it was them, but somebody had another option. Temperance came out in between you though. So this is a relationship that gives you so much spiritual growth. And you guys feel it so much energetically. And it is all about grounding it. And it's time to take off your mask. Bluff came out with you. So pretending, mask, exaggeration. It's time to really get into the core of, what you're really feeling and being honest with that and just open and let that open you up to see like what new perspectives can come in. And resistance. They feel like they have a secret admirer or suppressing timid. Yeah, they're suppressing their emotions. They're not fully coming out with it because they thought there was an opportunity and then the opportunity went away or something got stalled or they're just not seeing it. But in between you, it looks like something is being released. Whatever block was there, you guys, which could be emotionally, it could be physically, it's being let go. So you guys can move on in a whole new way. And, that's very exciting. But yeah, they're like timid with their feelings. They don't want to talk about their feelings. And that, like, it's like you're both playing it. They don't talk about their feelings, and then you put on the mask. And, but in between you, you're releasing that. So you guys can come together in a really strong way with the Temperance card. It's like finding a balance, but you guys had patience with this. And what you're feeling spiritually is actually has a chance to like be grounded now and to actually happen. Both of you have very strong visions. They are slightly different with where this can go, but there's going to be a chance to actually talk about it. So yeah, in the future, the outcome, there will be communication, but expect this to take a little bit longer. Slow and steady progress. There are things to learn. There are more beliefs and perspectives that need to be released about this or about where someone's spending their time and energy that might be taking up too much time and energy, but it's not a part of their soul path and where they're supposed to be going. But yeah, the palm tree. Recognize the slow, steady growth. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. Like the palm tree, it gets planted, it takes 5 years to sprout, but once it does, it grows and grows and grows and it is sustainable. So that's kind of energy that's going on in between you guys right now. And there might be a need to kind of go back and really make things more solid, something more solid, and to really like be a little bit more practical and steady moving. But yeah, be lighthearted, find out, let things come to light, adapt, change, heal. That's how you'll see the newer perspectives. If you just really stay lighthearted, if you stay flexible, if you stay adaptable, both of you are learning adaptability a little bit more and to be a little bit more flexible. Okay, so last messages to you. I'm ready for commitment. Yeah, they're ready for commitment. I think you're sensing that too. You want commitment too, it looks like, with the Hierophant on your side. Um, I know that we have a soul connection. Yeah, very strong soul connection. And sometimes you can move fast in them or have spurts and moments. And then also there's a lot of clearing stuff away in soul connections because you're literally vibrationally aligning. And when you vibrationally align, there's lots of stuff that needs to purge, like the stuff that isn't you, like the mass and then the resistance. So know that that's kind of going on right now. And yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Scorpio. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's see what's happening for you. Your ruler is retrograde right now. So it's in the seventh house. So you're focused on relationships, but you might be going back and reevaluating things and, especially when it comes to relationships. What do you want? What lessons have you learned? And how do you want to grow moving forward into the future? At the same time, relationships are very lucky for you right now. And yeah, Mercury's in your 12th house. So you might not be connected with your significant other right now. You might be at a distance, or maybe they're busy working or whatever. And then also going through that part of the sky, they're going to be feeling things a little bit more intensely. Also going underneath the beams of the sun eventually. They're going to get a reboot too. Okay, so Pioneer came out. You're kind of ready for something new, something different, to do things differently. You're seeing relationships in a different way, and you're having new ideas, new clarity about relationships. They're coming out as the Virgin, so maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow is fear of intimate union. And I posted something about virgins the other day, where actually virginity means how strong is the divine feminine's connection to source and staying truly authentic to that, which you can totally be like kind of a wild woman, like when you are purely listening to source, because like your your decisions make no sense to anybody besides like you, the one connected to source. So yeah, but they're not acting from immaturity. The Princess of Wands came out reversed. So they're not acting actually immature. They are actually just connecting to source. And the Empress reverse came out on your side. You got to recognize your ability to like manifest what you truly want, by working with your divine feminine energy, self-care, self-love, being in your body, nurturing yourself, listening to your own intuition, and then also getting back into unconditional love, because the Five of Cups reverse, there's deeper emotions that you might be releasing right now. And this could be from past relationships or this relationship. Just a need to, where you automatically look on the negative side of things. And we have such a tendency to do this because like every single movie that we watched growing up as kids, like there's always something that goes wrong, and that's just how life goes. But it doesn't actually have to go like that. We have to actually like, reprogram ourselves and stay focusing on the good. Just because you get rich or something doesn't mean it's all going to get taken away. Like you just have to focus on what you're manifesting. Your focus manifests, like focusing on what you want and having that internal vision and being really solid with that is this new pioneering way, because you're getting that pioneering way of being in relationships by connecting to source and seeing the new paths, the new higher trajectories that can actually happen. So you're going through kind of a death and rebirth yourself, and your death and rebirth internally is, changing the dynamics of this relationship. So yeah, if you need to go hermit mode for a little bit, don't be afraid to just like go in and do the work. Because yeah, you're breaking out of karmic cycles. The devil came out in between you guys. So this is like intense love connection that, you like you're ride or die, but like at the same time, you can get toxic and you can like not be that highest version of yourself. So this is what's kind of like coming to light right now and being purged. So you guys face the ways that you can be lighter in this relationship. And yeah. And yeah, it looks like they're slowing things down. They feel a lot of fire, a lot of passion, but I don't know. I don't think they're fully acting on it, because the Four of Wands came out reversed. And this is a high level soulmate connection. So I'm getting that they really feel that this is a high level soulmate connection. But they don't feel like very like solid with it. and they don't feel like maybe it's time to ground it, because it's like fiery, you know, it's very, very fiery. So they're feeling like a need to slow it down and be a little bit more mature, for yeah, moving into the future with this. Okay, so what else? Running came out on your side. You might be the Sagittarius that's running, ghosting, disappearing, invisible. I mean, no, when you do have to do that, because you do have to like face your internal world, and you don't want to get into the disruption or the like, amplifiedness of this energy. Yeah, they want commitment. That's why they're slowing down. They want commitment. They want something that's really solid, promising. They want fidelity. They want to lock the Sagittarius down. They want to like, yeah, make things like really solid. Um, and family. Because yeah, I mean, this is kind of what you both feel. You both feel like this can move really fast and this can go like really, really fast because you know, family came out, like it can go into really creating a whole life and a whole family. And when you both get that knowing, it's kind of scary, you know, because it's like, whoa, okay, this is serious. And yeah. So what's the outcome? King of Wands reverse. So the masculine impulses of, you know, just running away and, you know, just the flakiness and the just the no plan is actually like kind of going away. The high priestess, so yeah, there is going to be a higher vision, a higher calling, that is coming in that you guys will become more so aware of. And yeah, but at the same time, there is a need to communicate and see each other's point of view. And because yeah, that's where things get blocked, is where you guys don't really see eye to eye, where you guys aren't really fully communicating, even though it feels like with the Eight of Wands that there is this knowing so strongly. Addiction came out, codependency, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block restraint. So yeah, releasing the devil stuff, which is like needing to hang on and, you know, commitment is good, but it can't be, it has to be in a way that where you're both like really aligned with it. Love call, someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you, letting you know. So know whether if you do want stability too, and they know it, you know it, like don't answer the love call, just like if it's, you know, not exactly what you guys both want, if you guys both want commitment more, in talking, interested, conversing more, awaiting messages arriving, text, call, email, hovering. So more conversation is definitely coming in. So that's very exciting. And I think there will be a lot of breakthroughs with these conversations. But stay grounded with what you truly want in your divine feminine energy, because masculine, feminine, we both have masculine and feminine energies, but it is like the percentages like that we have or that we lean into. Um, I really do care. Their messages to you are, I really do care, even though I don't show it. I need to work on myself. I'm trying to clear my head. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely an intense pull in this relationship, but realize wherever there's the addiction, you know, where you want to reach out outside of you is where you guys are both finding that divine feminine source energy, whatever God source, your connection, to find that overall fulfillment, to actually come together stronger in this connection, because that's the only way that you guys will be able to be in this connection, when you can completely detach and when you find that fulfillment all on your own versus needing to reach out outside of you for anything. All right, Sagittarius, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Capricorn, let's see what's going on for you. You're rebirthing, you're going through a major spiritual evolution now with Saturn, Neptune on Saturn. You know, you're definitely unwinding who you aren't anymore so you can become something new and a higher version of yourself and looking at the long term. So, Knight, loyalty, romance, chivalry, love, honor. You're staying loyal to what you love, and that's exactly what you should be doing with this kind of energy. And they feel like your companion. No, they feel your loyalty, your tenacity, your unselfishness. So, this is turning out to be like a healthier relationship so far. Um, okay. But let's see, Queen of Swords. So you're coming out as the Queen of Swords, and they're coming out as the Queen of Wands. So, I mean, they're compatible energies, but yeah, they're both very domineering energies. So it's like someone has a plan, someone has the inspiration, then the other one maybe needs to voice their plan a little bit. The other one's a little bit more logical. And your powers combined can actually be really good. There can be more of a balance found in this relationship. And it's going to come from you actually communicating from love. In between you, yeah, there is commitment that definitely can happen, but somebody needs to voice it. Somebody actually needs to say that they want it. Um, your person keeps on getting pulled back to this relationship because they feel like it's a really, really strong soulmate connection and they can't let it go. And you guys, you make them feel fiery, you make them feel good, you make them feel like they're really shining their light out in the world. And it looks like oh, that's why you're looking for the long term and really, really serious energy, maybe looking at being a little bit more traditional, but maybe you haven't voiced it yet. And it's really important to kind of voice those things, talk about those things. And yeah, tell the divine masculine what you want. Divine masculine came out on their side. So going through a divine masculine kind of evolution and then realizing how they can step up in healthier ways in this relationship. Healing. So what's going on between you guys and why there hasn't been a more solid commitment is because there's healing. There's releasing, purifying, cleansing. Yeah, individual healing so you guys can come back together stronger. And yeah, when you do come back together, it's going to be a whole new beginning. The Fool came out. So let go of the past. It's like cleansing to release the past. And you have to allow that evolution to happen. You can't hang on to the past. And this could be past beliefs, past ways of being in relationships, past ways of looking at the world. The world is completely changing right now. The past ways that you have been. And yeah, because there's a whole new way for you to be and for you to be in love, and they're like you doing it and will make them do it, and you being vulnerable and honest will kind of lead them in the right direction to kind of, and they'll recognize your energy at least with doing it. And yeah, actually, yeah, the whole new beginning is going to come from vulnerability, like talking about those deeper stuff, that deeper stuff that was stuffed down that they thought they needed to hide. And it could just be because they thought they were going to be judged, or you thought you were going to be judged. So somebody wasn't fully speaking their truth, but as soon as the truth gets talked about, then it's clear. And judgment is going to be released where there was a block before, to this higher calling, to like where this like bigger path where you guys are going in your relationship. Because this new beginning was waiting, but it wasn't happening because one or both of you weren't fully being honest and transparent with the other one. And it could have come from mommy wounds, honestly. Because yeah, the Queen of Swords came out reversed. Divine feminine wounds. Yeah, that was causing a lot of anxiety. So yeah, there's a new way. So make sure you're working with your feminine energy too, and really getting self-care, self-love, nurturing yourself, listening to your intuition and how you feel, because it was suppressing all of that was causing excess anxiety on your side, where instead of just leading from love and leading from that healed space, that kind of blocked this new beginning, because they're ready to step up as a very solid companion and have this solid new beginning with you. And they're feeling the call to, actually. So yeah, okay, let's see what else. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love, in life, in self-love, being happier. Yeah, know when you do that for you and they do that for them. You guys just can come together in a more solid way. Heart with a key, welcoming love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together. Perfect. Yeah, this is a really strong soulmate connection that's going to come together at that right moment when you're ready to open your heart and be vulnerable. And yeah, you're letting go of leading in love in the way where you were heartbroken and where you were manifesting and creating from that heartbroken space. If we don't really face our emotions and if we don't heal, then we continue to create from that brokenhearted hurt place with wherever we were hurt in the past. So there are messages to you. I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. Yeah, they were a little rash in the past. They moved a little bit too fast. Um, I want to make things right. So yeah, they're coming back to make things right. You guys are starting over from a more healed place, because this is a strong soulmate connection. And yeah, it'll be know what you want to manifest, know what you truly value. If you want commitment, if you want marriage, if you want to move in, if you want, what do you want in love? So you are clear about talking about that when this comes back. All right. Thank you so much, Capricorn. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Okay, Aquarius. So let's see what is going on for you. Um, you're going through a spiritual evolution with what you truly value, as Neptune is on Saturn. So you're letting go, you're going through a big kind of letting go, shedding old layers of what's really not you in life with yourself. And it might feel kind of all over the place, but at the same time, you're getting to that core stability of who you truly are as a soul. So you can manifest your life in a lot easier of a way where it's a lot less pushing, forcing, struggling. So you can manifest from the abundance that you truly are, that is at the core of your being. So you're the seeker, or seeker came out for you. So you're like seeking, new adventures, new wisdom, new truths. And you feel a truth in your body because it makes you feel really peaceful and calm. And it just feels expansive and just aligned with your soul. And yeah, that's making you let go of beliefs. And they're the student in this relationship. So it's like they have something to learn. Student, when light is humility and devotion to knowledge, openness, lifelong learning. Shadow is arrogance in pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. I think they're figuring out I don't know if they're figuring out relationships in general, but there's something that they're learning from this connection, that's kind of getting them to tap more so into their emotions. And, in society in general, sometimes, we can cut off our emotions and be very blocked off, and not because we don't recognize like our emotions are telling us everything. Our emotions are actually the most important thing with how we can live the best life, and they're kind of getting in tune with that again. And getting unlocked with that. So yeah, it looks like you're going through a little bit of disappointment right now, but it's important to not stay in the Four of Cups in the sludge of looking back at the past, because that's going to keep you, stuck in the past. Instead, you got to rip your heart out of your chest, hand it over to God, and say, I have trust and faith in the universe and where I'm going. And you can feel and see your bigger picture and where, what you're manifesting next, and have trust and faith in that. Because between you, I love the star that came out. This is electric. This is like magnifying. You guys are awakening each other. There's this like higher calling and higher destination when it comes to this relationship. I never noticed the hands coming out of the water. That's so creepy. This reminds me of like Lord of the Rings, with the pond, the mucky pond that they have to go through with the dead people. The swamp, that's what it's called. But yeah, so you might be both kind of where you guys were both stuck in the swamp. Actually, this is kind of elevating you and awakening you, and it doesn't happen all at once. So you have to have trust and patience with it, but know that this is happening, and they're recognizing what they value. They're recognizing their worth. They might actually not feel good enough to be with you right now, but they will be getting in touch with that, with how this relationship is playing out. So pride came out on your side, arrogance, ego, stubborn. Don't be too stubborn with Neptune on your ruler. You need to go with the flow. You need to not stay stuck in your perspective. You need to have the higher perspective. You need to trust God's plan, not your plan, because there's a higher plan coming in right now. And they're letting go of bitterness. So yeah, they shut down their heart and their emotions out of bitterness of the past in relationships. And yeah, let's see. So in between you. Ecstasy, nourishing. So yeah, even though, you guys both are kind of going through something, in between you this feels like ecstasy. This feels like nourishing. You guys like make each other better. You guys lighten each other up. You guys get that Kundalini energy. And it also leads you to self-growth and self-growth in a way that's going to be the most nourishing for you in the long term. But yeah, it's important to be patient. So the outcome is be patient, because it's like going back to make things a little bit more solid. And then also to kind of learn more about each other and about the overall direction, because there's going to be a new overall direction that you can't even really expect or see right now. So it's important to stay open and completely, like, both of you are opening up your hearts, actually. So like both you keeping your heart open, they're going to keep their heart open. And what's leaving is like this Ten of Swords, where is constantly expecting the defeat and the betrayal, and it's just stuff to go wrong in the past, and anxiety, and just expecting life to be like this, the Ten of Swords. You're realizing that it can actually be way more exciting, way more expansive, a whole different perspective in reality is coming in. And yeah, you'll only be able to really tune into it when you keep your heart open. So your messages, oh wait, these first. The dragonfly. So be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light. 444 on my clock, by the way. Karmic relationship. Let the transformation happen, because this, you're releasing karmic relationships, but at the same time, your hearts are turning to gold. You're learning your lessons. You're letting go of the karmic lessons. We're finally getting out of karma. And you're going to see what life in relationships, you're both going to see what life in love and relationships is going to be like when we're not in karmic cycles. So that's exciting. their messages to you is, I've been watching your socials and admiring your pictures. You're always on my mind. All right, Aquarius, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Pisces. Okay, so your ruling planet is retrograde right now. So you might kind of be going back, reevaluating, your your internal world a little bit more to see like how you want to grow. Next, connecting with God. God came out for you. So that's fun. That's kind of exciting. And yeah, your significant other might be feeling a little deep right now because Mercury is going through Ophiuchus and Scorpio. So they might be feeling things a little deep, a little intensely. And it's important to just kind of let them go through that deeper soul awakening with that. But God came out. So when light, benevolence, I can't say that word ever, compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Shadow is despotism and cruelty using power to control people. Anyway, you're getting in touch with real God, not the controlling God. The God that is unconditional love, not the one that sits in the sky, on a throne in the sky, and just wants to send everybody to hell. The vengeful one, that's not the real one. That's Enlil. Okay. And your significant other is Angel. I love God and Angel. It came out so cute. So helping those in need with no expectation of return. So I love it looks like you're with someone who is equally giving and caring and really trying to stay high vibrational. And strength came out on your side. Whoa, powerful cards. Like, what is going on for you? This is insane. So strength came out on your side. And strength card always reminds me of like leading life and love with courage, with an open heart, with vulnerability. And even if you've been through tough times in a relationship, this is where you're coming back stronger than ever. Just like that, like after going through stuff. And they want commitment. They're ready for commitment. They really know what they value, they know what they want to build in life, the Hierophant. Yeah, they feel like you bring them a lot of stability and safety, and they're ready for this. Communication. You need to communicate something to them. And yeah, they're very optimistic with the Three of Wands that came out on their side. They really are ready to kind of open up and expand, and they're looking at the world and they're ready to explore, and they're seeing new perspectives. So at the same time, with like being solid and committed and grounded, they're also, very lighthearted. Chariot, this is the best reading. You got the best reading out of all of them. So you guys are in sync. Chariot is like the masculine and the feminine, that, counterpart energies. And you guys are working together and you're going in the same direction, and you can accomplish so much more when you're working together. So you can talk about your plans. Yeah, that's the only thing that I was getting, is that you might be a little withdrawn when it comes to your plans and really talking about what's on your mind, what's on your heart, what's really coming to you from source, because it's important for you to be connected to source as a Pisces rising. And doing what Leo Skeppy does. Basically, he goes on his podcast now and he's like, so my soul wanted me to say today, and just like living day to day, moment to moment like that. They're getting clarity, and they're going to give you clarity about their truth with their intentions, and they're seeing things from a higher perspective. In between you, there's depletion, drained, long journey. So you guys probably took a long journey to get here, and you're going to have a reset with it. At the same time, yeah, talk about what's really on your mind. Okay, so what's the outcome of this? A return to past emotions, Six of Cups reversed. going back, looking at past emotions, talking about the things that you didn't talk about, to really clear things up and to have a stronger bond moving forward. Yeah, Princess of Wands, where somebody was a little bit more immature and shutting out the emotions and not really having that deeper awareness of things. Coming back around to that to become a little bit more mature. And Princess of Pentacles, yeah, this is going to be a more solid way that you guys move forward. That is a little bit more practical. We're not staying in dreamland here, even though you guys are totally like dreaming this up and everything, and it's really beautiful. But you're going to be able to ground some of what you're both feeling. Yeah, there's just a need to ground this actually, because the energy is very nice and fluffy and amazing and everything, but there is a need to kind of ground it into reality. Okay, what else? Coffin, endings, new beginnings, growth, change, liberation. Yep. Let the transition happen. Let the old ways of doing, being in a relationship, whatever, let that and let the old ways of doing things end so you can do things in a higher way. Talk about the heartbreak. Talk about whatever was painful. Wherever you felt like they might have not fully had your back. Because somebody's healing from heartbreak too. Heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, feeling separation and lost. Okay, so what are their messages to you? I can't let you go. Yeah, they keep on coming back to this. I'm on my way to you. Yeah, so it looks like there was tough times and things were exhausting, but you guys are both seeing a higher perspective now, and that's actually going to make it a lot easier to come back around to this in a way solid, sturdy way with your hearts wide open. All right, Pisces, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio.